Hey everyone, thank you for being patient with my absence. School and work is getting pretty hectic. I'm working like 30 hours a week, and when I work full speed. So about 4 days of work and I'm spent. But now it's time for my X-Men Origins Wolverine review. Now I'm going to say this first. If you have the work print that came out like a month ago, you gotta go see it in theaters. Because there's a lot of differences between the work print and the actual movie. There's scenes in the movie that weren't in the work print, and there's scenes in the work print that were taken out and not seen in the movie. And even when I was watching the movie in theaters, I heard a lot of dialogue that wasn't in the work print. So, go see it. Also, I suggest you see the first and second X-Men movies so you can kind of make the connections between all three of them. Okay, now, in the beginning of this movie, I'm not going to get into a lot of spoilers because I want you to go see it. They show that Sabretooth is Wolverine's brother. Yeah, they're brothers, and like they're in like the 1800s or something, so it was like 1700s, I guess. And it shows them growing up together, going through all these wars, all the way to like present time, and where they get in trouble and they get killed, but you know, they regenerate, so they're fine. And Stryker, he goes to them and he makes them part of his team of mutants. Now, thinking about the comics in the old cartoon, the da-na-na-na-na, you guys know what I'm talking about, Saturday mornings. Y'all know y'all up 6 a.m. to catch that X-Men cartoon on Fox Kids. Now, do you ever remember Sabretooth being even considered a brother to Wolverine? I don't know why they did that in the movie. Remember the first X-Men movie when he was fighting Sabretooth? Did that look like, did they say anything or did anything indicate a brother relationship? No, they just wanted to kill each other. Now, Wolverine lost his memories in the first one, and this movie shows how he lost his memories. But Sabretooth has not lost his memories. Wouldn't he say something like, brother, in the first movie, if they were brothers? Why would they add that to the prequel? It makes no sense. Inconsistency. So they're part of that team, right? But Wolverine doesn't like what's going on, so he leaves, he bails, Stryker comes back to him years later, talking about, hey, Sabretooth, trying to kill us, please, help. And Wolverine goes, no. And then Sabretooth comes, kicks his butt, Wolverine goes crawling to Stryker, help. And Stryker goes, oh, let's pump you full of some adamantium. So that's why you see, like in the second movie, all the flashbacks when Wolverine is in the tank, and the scene where he's fighting Death Gaze, whatever her name is, Death Guys, whatever, I don't know what her name was. But that's a tank that you see in this prequel movie. And they pump him up, just plug him up, and they get all the atom, he has all the atom, he's Fontaine! And they pump him full of all the atom, and he gets all juiced up, and he goes to fight Sabretooth again, and he's beating him this time. But during that scene, they had GAMBIT. And you know what? I didn't really like GAMBIT in this movie. You know why? Because he was doing crap I never seen GAMBIT do. Like, we all know GAMBIT was an expert at throwing cards. This is why he used them. But in this one, he made him levitate like he was psychokinetic. PK Thunder! Or something like that. I don't know. But he was making him levitate and he shot him at Wolverine. And then what also didn't make sense was when Wolverine was like bear hugging Sabretooth. Well, before that happened, he elbow checks GAMBIT. He hits the ground. Exactly 20 seconds later, it shows GAMBIT running across the rooftop. I'm like, what the heck? He just got knocked to the ground. How is he on the rooftop 20 seconds later, running across it? And then he has this like his cane, because you know he's Cajun style fighting and everything. And he's like using it as like a helicopter propeller, and he like hovering down to the ground, and then he hits the ground, creates a shockwave. I'm like, I don't remember GAMBIT doing anything like that. And then GAMBIT, he didn't even see Sabretooth. The reason why he was angry at Wolverine was because Wolverine had tags just like Sabretooth, which is who caught GAMBIT in the first place. So if he's attacking Wolverine, why didn't he see Sabretooth, who was just feet away? Maybe 2-3 feet away. And he's busy fighting Wolverine, a guy who he just popped up. That made no sense to me. And then GAMBIT was scaling walls like Spider-Man. Like he used his cane, and I don't know, he charged him with something, and he was up a wall. That really didn't make any sense either. So GAMBIT fans, you might be a little bit disappointed. But also, I mean, the fight scenes in the movie were great. There was a lot of great fight scenes. There's a guy, Agent Zero. He's really good with guns and stuff. He was really cool. He had other mutants in his team that were pretty cool. You get to see the Blob. Blob makes a cameo. And I think there's a few other people. I forget, though. You see Scott when he was younger. And so Wolverine, he goes to that compound where all the mutants are to rescue them and everything. And he ends up fighting Sabretooth. But when they had Deathpool. Deathpool had like all these powers and he was made by Stryker. But Deathpool was an original creation of Stryker, if I remember correctly. And he didn't have all his powers. All he was really good at was shooting, really good with samurai swords, and he had a rejuvenating power that made Wolverine look like a toy. Make it look like a joke. Like in Hulk versus, a lot of Marvel fans saw it. Wolverine sliced off his arm. He just put his arm back together. It was like, oh, that's fine now. Also, if you've seen the second movie, you see Storm freezing his son, Stryker's son, to make him stop his powers on Professor X and everything. And you'll see in this movie, there's a scene where Stryker is looking at a frozen kid in the glass, and you recognize the two different color eyes he had in the second one. That's his son. So I'm guessing they froze him to keep his powers from working and everything. So, you know, I like how it kind of has some things that coexisted with the movies that came after it. Let's see, what else? Yeah, like I said, good fight scenes. They had a lot of mutants and stuff, but I didn't get to see a lot of powers. What I liked about the first two X-Men movies and the third one was that you see powers the entire movie, different powers, people using powers. You can see this is a world full of mutants. But in this one, to me, it seemed like there's only a handful. Like a handful captured by Stryker and a handful here. It didn't look like a mutant universe to me. And let's see. You know, at the end of the movie, Charles comes in to rescue the kids from the island. They made him look like a pedophile. They seriously made him look like a pedophile. Like, he comes in, it's okay, I'm Charles Xavier. I'm here to rescue you children. Come to my school of gifted. Go ahead, get in my jet. I'm like, whoa, Charles! What? He kind of had like a pedophile smile too or something. I don't know. You guys have to see it. I mean, it really doesn't look very good. But overall, good fight scenes, good dialogue. It was a solid movie. There's a few inconsistencies, like I said, and you know, all the hardcore X-Men fans, I think you guys will still enjoy it, even though some of the stuff isn't correct. But, you know, I give it a B-. So, all you guys that downloaded it, you have to go see the movie. You have to, if you want to get the full picture. You got to. Also, the chick that played Emma Frost, yeah, that hoe was fine. Go check her IMDb. That one was fine. I knew from the movie that girl was fine. And she looked a little ragtag because she was in Capture and everything. But, yeah, you need to go check her out. But anyway, this is BLACKbusterCritic telling you, go see X-Men Origins Wolverine. You won't be disappointed.